Ah, yes, the power of Giant Killer. You guys hear me talk about this a lot, and we have actually the perfect account to exactly highlight what we're talking about. So today, what's up, guys? We're back with some more Idle Heroes, and we are on, it was Cloud. I want to make sure we get the name perfectly right. Cloud Zero. We're on Cloud Zero's account, and his account is 100% free to play, just like our free to play account. I think it's not even as old as our account, or at least it has less heroes, but what it does have a Giant Killer Star Swordsman Mockman, and you're going to see the power difference between that account and my account. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's show you guys the breakdown of the Giant Killer power on a free-to-play account. Let's get going. Are on Cloud Zero's account right here, and yeah, first thing we're going to highlight is pretty much what we almost had. If you guys remember, I think it was around Christmas time on our free to play, we actually managed to hit a near, it was so close to an A- copy. It was literally like these same rolls, except we had 2 B rolls and 1 A roll. It felt really bad, but what we have here is an absolutely amazing Star Swordsman Mockman. This is honestly close to as perfect as you can get on an Awakening copy. Of course, it's very low, or I should say it's a high B+, almost A- roll, but the most important thing here is it does have Giant Killer. When dealing damage to a target, deals 2% more damage, capping at 100% for every 10% above self HP. And let's be honest, all the enemies in every single one of these endgame game modes have ridiculously high HP pools. We also have skill damage, we have holy damage. The only thing that might even be considered better is if this holy damage was instead like precision, but essentially what this copy does is it gives you tons of skill damage, and it's absolutely amazing. You'll see here we have full sublimations. I say full because one thing you really want to make sure you do on your Mockman is you don't finish out this tree branch. You really don't want to go at least to the last one, because even here when switching states you restore HP, that's still okay. This one though you really don't want, because when releasing active skills or basic attacks in the state of Star Descending, which is the back row starting form that you want to be in, there's a 75% chance to gain extra layer of Awakening energy. What this means is you're going to swap into your offensive or your defensive version, the Star Ascending, which you don't want to be in, because that's the one where you just do a small active ability and then you do the counter attacks. This is something you don't want, and he's actually level 102. It looks like he's going for that 120, but man, that is going to take a ton of stellar shards. Still no core on him, but that's not a big deal because his core is not really that important. It would just give him additional stats, and that is it. Yep, melodic strings, that is good. And of course, looks like we're running the crit attack stone, which I do like. The only thing that I would probably say I don't particularly like is this extra holy damage. If this was me, I would probably be running 60% precision to make sure the enemies are not blocking me. But again, that really comes down to kind of how your account is set up. The other thing is here, precision, you usually want to try to get as close to 150 as possible, because that is going to give you additional attack values and stuff. So, but overall, very, very good. Looks like he's ready to do X stones, but he has to clear it to 110. But that's actually something not too bad for him, because he's actually in 215 right now, and it looks like he's only got 1 upgrade bonus right here from Death Star, which is a little sad. But it is what it is. But you can see here how much more progress this account has than even my own. I imagine he's in purgatory, honestly. I wonder if he's on the leaderboard here. I actually don't know what his in-game name is. I'm just going to see. He's got to be at purgatory with this Star Swordsman Mockman, because he's so good at it. Sealand progression all the way up through 27. 27 is where we are currently stuck, but for him, that's not a big deal. He does have a Lord of Fear Aspen with a Rui Scepter. Yep, no tree or anything like that. So the usual, and then a carry, a focus, 4Cs, whatever you want to call him. I always call him Focus because of another game I played. Just ignore me. And we have, of course, the important support hero of a 10-star Ignis there to give him control immunity. So everything looks good here. Even Sealands, you need to get to, you're missing progress and power when it comes to all of Gate of the Void. You do need to focus on that Vulcan, get him leveled up and clear that out. Honestly, though, if you just took all of this one day and put it all over onto this Rogan could definitely clear out the Forest Sealand. What that's really going to do, oops, wrong place for that. What's really going to do is in the Void Temple here, the Sealands, You'll see here, you're missing out on increases the damage against Void or Abyss Void opponents by 30%, and then Dark Void. So you're missing out on some of them, and then here too, increase the damage against Transcendence Void opponents. You really do need to focus on these Seal Lands, so make sure you get those done. Those are absolutely, absolutely important. But the big thing here is, like I said, look at this progression here. He's about ready to get Voidstone upgrades, and really Chapter 2 has a lot of the really big upgrades. You start able to get the sublimation essences passively, you get the higher tier stones, you get to start accumulating these shards, which these shards take forever to do, so it's not as big of a deal. And then of course it adds more. The only other one is 3-1, because that's when you can start getting the upgraded resonance suits of gear. But this is a big power gain right here, getting to the X upgrade feature. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what is going on with his team here. It does look like he has a good amount of monsters, and yeah, no cores, but his power is definitely up there. Are we faster than the enemy team still? We are, which is really good. And again, you just really need to crush these opponents as fast as possible. It does mean you're running pretty much glass cannon, and when there is a queen in here, it does get a little iffy. You probably need another Transcendence hero to kind of help you out here. Getting the queen down, though, is good. Sadly, the counterattack still happens, so there's like no avoiding that. Literally, the only way we can not have that happen is if queen doesn't take any damage. That's literally like not possible. That was like an amazing active, and you can see why you kind of need a second Transcendence hero to start really starting to push into stage or chapter 2, I should say. Honestly, putting Lord of Fear Aspen in the back row might be even better, because you can potentially finish off an enemy. That was kind of good. That was kind of good. I'm surprised. But of course, anytime there is a Sword Flash, that's where you're really going to get stuck on these waves, because he just can't really deal with them. Sword Flash waves are going to be one of his most difficult enemies, so to speak. Yeah, it's not a good look. We could probably run a macro all day and maybe you would get a victory, but you would need like the most impressive round 1 active to kill the Sword Flash. But the Sword Flash gets the shield from Asmodel the Nautilus, which means it's very, very difficult to kill her off. So it is in a weird state, but it is much further. I think we're back on like 1-4 or something on our account, but Giant Killer does a ton for you. I'm surprised you don't have more Transcendence heroes at this point, though. Surprised it's only at 2, but again, keep working on it. Get a third Transcendence hero. Honestly, I'm wondering if Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok would be a good defensive hero to have to your team to continue to give him more power into like a round 2 or 3. Not really sure. I'm still trying to test more with Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok, but we'll find out soon enough. But man, this killer copy is amazing. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hopefully you get lucky like this account too, and you manage to get a Giant Killer copy on a free-to-play, because it's game changer. And I'll see you guys next time.